you. I have a subsequent one, but I'll come back to you. And I want to pull in, Jasjit into the conversation. Especially, I think he talked about logistics, he's talked about delivery and stuff like that. And I thought, there's no better person to bring in Jasjit, who heads the TCI business. I know TCI is doing a ton of essential services, right, Jasjit, that business that you're in. And you have a diversified set of stakeholders to manage, not just employees, your entire, people on the ground who goes and does this last mile deliveries and stuff like that. Keen to understand, we touched upon consumers so far, but I want you to just double click on how you manage to keep mental well-being of employees in these troubled times. And when everybody is working from home and trying to stay safe, your team and your organization trying to help move the needle in the country.
A great question, Katie. Thank you for asking that. Actually, we work more in a physical world. So we have got the physical, digital both together. There was an analogy of somebody stuck in traffic that won't work anymore because you are at home, but goods have to still move. So while many services can do without a physical movement, which is major part of economy, the physical part of it, the movement, that has to go. You need food on the table and you need stuff to go around. But before I talk about this, I just want to spend a few seconds on why the work from home could become so successful. People talk about it that, it was COVID was the, kind of a trigger for it to happen, the silver lining. But, I would kind of say that it was something way beyond and far before. So unless the PC had happened, and unless the internet had happened, and unless the PC then became a laptop, and then convergence happened, and until 4G came, we couldn't have had what we had now. So this network was always ready for it. Now imagine COVID happening in the 1980s. Could you have done work from home? No. Even now, you can't hail a cab with a 3G network. You need 4G as well. So it is a lot of these things coming together. So actually, I would say that work from home took 30 years to become an overnight sensation. Okay. And in our world where we have to ensure that goods and services move, so in the first phase there was a lot of fear out there. So there were fears which were also genuine fears. Large companies have started to say that we're going to cut salaries, we're going to cut jobs. Very large companies have said that, some of them backtracked. So first thing was not to add to the mental imbalance of people by this cauldron. So first thing we set across to our people that there's no salary cuts. We will also have the annual increment as usual, and you will be paid on the first of the month as always. And we walked that talk. So people didn't have a job loss as part of it. We also put a caveat to it. So we are network industry. We are present in all districts of the country. But people don't belong to that place. They may be belonging to some other places. If the panic happens and they all start to go back, our network will fall. The physical network would fall. So our condition was that you have to be in town. If you are in town, you'll be taken care of by the ecosystem. But if you go home, then you are on leave. So deterrent was put in place, and we put an app that point in time to check on people's health. That app independently found out the person's location. So whoever was not there, we ensured that he got back immediately. That same app, we extended it to use attendance on a geofencing model. So if I want to put in my attendance, if I'm not in office, I'm somewhere else in Gurgaon, I can't do it. The moment I'm inside the office compound, it will click at the time in office now. So a seamless way, also checking off other stuff as well, about 12 to 15 parameters of health. So employees coming to workplace were assured of that when they come in, the checks would happen for them. There would be sufficient distance maintained. We had isolation rooms in all the premises. That if anybody was unwell, we would isolate him. So people were not afraid to come to the workplace. In fact, we got on record to people saying that we are safer at work than at home. At home, we are doing our stuff without a mask. We have maids coming in, but delivery boys coming in. We don't wear a mask. But in office, we are safer. So that kind of a thing we propagated. Now, many of the warehouses which we run for e-commerce companies, they have 1,000 plus people working there at a single time. So now man distancing between them. So we had to also make protocols more like a relay. So people do not follow each other. and there is a sufficient gap. Lunch times were staggered. The lunch areas became like cubicles on the side. So when eating, people are not speaking with each other. So it became a bit of a prison cell look, unfortunately, for the lunchrooms. But that was required at that point in time. And in the first quarter, none of operations stopped. We did not stop a single day in terms of coming to work. Fortunately, we got the approval for urgent services. So everything kept running, the trucks kept running. Same thing we did with the white collar workers and others. Along with that, in the second wave, what we also have done is built in more ecosystem for people to feel safe. So if somebody's father is unwell, and let's say this guy's father is in Aligarh and he is staying somewhere in Punjab. So we took care of his father's health also. So he didn't rush back. So people felt if I am working for the organization, I'll be taken care of. So they gave their best. It's only when people don't feel they're cared for, they start to, become Atmanirbhar or selfish. But we found also another silver lining is that the peer culture really came to the fore. Normally, in HR parlance, peers are the most difficult person to work together, and they're the most important as well. The community feeling and the feeling of peers helping each other really came to the fore. And we found that, we have become stronger as an organization and also as a community after this, because people have discovered more human values. And the feeling of doing service, the feeling of doing seva has come in very large, which was perhaps we had kind of lost track of it. So, and, the testament to that is that we grew last year in turnover. In all the parameters we grew. So the first quarter was not that good. We grew in all that. And we also did our annual increment for the second year also in April for this year. So, as an enterprise, you take care of your people, put a smile on their face, assure them that they're taken care of, and then ensure your customer taken care of. That's been our simplistic philosophy, which she had at this time. I hope that answers your question, Kate.
Absolutely, Jasjit. I think, that's a phenomenal level of details that he provided, Jasjit. But I think what clearly comes out, reassuring employees and telling them that their jobs are safe and giving them assurance, how the future would look like. Telling them that, they're safe at work and showing them the measures that we put in place. I think that removes the friction point, which could cause mental stress, right? If most of the people can't perform when they're mentally stressed because their mind is preoccupied. Now, looks like you removed all of those objections and made a clarity, giving the clarity and giving them a comfort that, what, you guys have taken care. Now come and do a job and let's go grow the team and you also get taken care. That's beautiful. Thank you, Jasjit, for taking care of that.